Hello guys, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys have been enjoying my YouTube video so far. So in this video, we're going to be talking about market structure mastery, trending and exhaustion. Now I've noticed a lot of you don't understand why the market moves from supply to demand zone, why buyers move from buying to selling, why sellers move from selling to buying. Now a lot of all these movements involve understanding market structure. When you understand market structure like a pro, you know how to read market structure 100%. I promise you've already solved 90% of your Forex problem. Now, I'll be heading to the class to see my students because they just finished writing exam. Let me give them their scripts and also their certificates. Then I will come back to break down how to read market structure like a pro. Come with me to the class, guys. Let's go with the certificates. Who is complaining about attendance? Morning, guys. Ben is, but did everybody here write the exam? Okay. Maureen, please collect their scripts. Bro, help me with the certificate. He's the second. Anybody that scored the whole question complete, even if your attendance was what reduced your score, will still give to you a prop firm. Okay, let's give you guys a certificate. Emmanuel, fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. You're from Edo? Okay, Benue. Understand? So please and please, you guys should take your time. Anytime you have questions, always feel free to drop by the academy or maybe ask in the group. We'll always be there to attend to everybody, okay? Thank you all so much for coming for the June badge. And I wish you guys success in your journey, okay? Let's go to that logo and snap. So our June badge just graduated and I actually went inside to give them their certificate and also motivate them. Because when it comes to the Forex market, I promise you, you're going to make crazy money from the Forex market. But please remove greed. I'm sure most of you have watched my video on why traders don't succeed and also how to build confidence. So now when we head into the class, we're going to be going deeply into what? Market structure mastery. And today we'll be talking about what? Trending and exhaustion. Then the part 2, I'll talk about what? Reversal and continuation. So let's head to the class. Let me give you guys a brief explanation of how trending and exhaustion can improve the way you view the market and also help you to trade better. Let's go. All right, guys. So let's talk about trending and exhaustion. Remember what I told you guys. Before understanding market structure, before learning how to read price action, before understanding why buyers change their buyers to sell and why sellers change their buyers to buy, you need to understand what? Market structure in-depthly. Now, trending and exhaustion is going to help you determine which trend is weak and which trend is strong. Now, when you see a trend moving like this with full momentum, this is actually what? It's actually called a trending market. Okay? This is called what? This is called a trending market. Meaning what? This market is very strong. Okay? The impulse is strong. Okay? Meaning what? Meaning the impulse is strong. Now, when you see a market exhausted, you will notice the market is moving like this. Now, this market movement is actually what? Weak. Okay? The impulse is what? Weak. And this is actually what? This is an exhausted market. Like I said earlier, before understanding market structure, you need to understand trending market and exhaustion market. Because a trending market will give you more opportunities to look for buys, to look for sell. While in an exhaustion market, you will get lesser opportunities to buy and when to sell. Now, in what opportunities would you notice, or in what scenarios will you notice that the market is exhausted? Sometimes bank holiday. Okay? Number 2, this is number 1. Number 2, waiting for major news. e.g. CPI, NFP, FOMC, and so on. Okay, so whenever a market is actually reacting exhausted, or you notice that this market is moving very, very slow, sometimes it's because of bank holiday. If there's a USD bank holiday, GBP bank holiday, JPY bank holiday, AUD bank holiday, you will notice that the market is moving very, very weak. Now, what would you do in situations like this? You avoid the market, except if you're a swing trader, meaning you're holding the trade for long, you're already in profit, and the next day was a bank holiday, then you're still swinging that trade. Do you understand? Now, number two, waiting for a major news event. Whenever a CPI is coming, which is the Consumer Price Index, or an FOMC, which is the Federal Open Market Committee, or NFP, non-farm payroll, you would notice that the market is always moving very, very slow, especially pairs like USD or gold. Now, why are those pairs moving very slow? Because they are waiting for that news event. Do you understand? You might be very right when you're selling or very right when you're buying, but the market would not buy aggressively and the market will not sell aggressively. Why? Because the market is waiting forward to what? This news event. So you need to always know when you're going into the market. Is this market trending? Is this market exhausted? Do you understand? Now that's that. Now let's move to the trending market. Now, when the market is trending, you would notice this market is moving with high impulse. You would notice a lot of big power candles, a lot of huge engulfing candles, either bullish engulfing or bearish engulfing. Now, in situations like that, this is giving you an opportunity to either look for buy or look for sell. Immediately you're entering is either the market hits your SL or it hits your profit. Now, this is what you need to understand when we talk about what? Trending and exhausted market. Okay? Now, remember, market structure, right, is divided into four: trending and exhaustion, which is 1 and 2, reversal and continuation, which is 3 and 4. I'll talk about that in the part 2. This is the part 1. So with all this information I've given you guys so far concerning trending and exhaustion, let's go into the chart so that I will show you guys also when a market can actually be exhausted and what you should look out for. Now, most times when a market is exhausted, you mostly look out for sell. When the market is trending, you mostly look out for buy or sell. Do you understand? Now, in situations where you see the market moving like this, come with me, guys. In situations where you see the market moving like this, right? This market is actually what? This market is actually exhausted because the market is not moving with impulse. And what happens next? A huge drop. Especially when there is what? A news event. Now, in situations where you see the market moving like this market is actually what? This market is actually trending. Do you understand? You don't need to wait for any news events. You don't need to check if there's a bank holiday or if there's any news coming. You just look for an entry. Then you go in for a buy or you go in for a sell. Now, let's go to the chart. Let me give you guys an example that happened recently. Now, yesterday was actually NFP, right? Yesterday was actually NFP. Let me show you guys what happened on gold. The same pattern I just showed you guys. You would see it now in charts, okay? Now, this is gold, right? Can you see the pattern I showed you guys just now? This is the pattern I showed you guys just now when the market is moving like this. Now, this market was actually what? This market was actually exhausted, right? This market was actually what? This market was actually exhausted. And the market could not go to the upside or to the downside. Why? Because this market was waiting for the news event. And immediately NFP data came out, what happened? Boom, we saw a huge drop. This is an example of when a market is exhausted or an exhaustion market. Do you understand? Another scenario here. Look at this part here. What can you see here? What can you see here? This market is actually what? Ranging. And the fact that this market is ranging, what can you also explain from what you're seeing at the moment? The market is also exhausted. Why? Because the market is not trending. Whenever you see a market moving like this or moving like this market is very, very exhausted. And whenever you notice the market is exhausted, you best stay out of the market. Don't force the market to buy. Don't force the market to sell. Except if you are already swing trading. Do you understand? Now, let me show you guys an example of a trending market. Example of a trending market. Now, what do we call this? This is a trending market. Why is it a trending market? Because this was a huge impulsive sell. The market retraced, dumped back aggressively, retraced, dumped back, found the bottom, continued pushing to the upside. In situations like this, you can easily look for sell and also look for buy without wasting too much time in the market. Immediately you come to the market, you would know if you're selling or if you're buying. Now, situations like this are called what? Trending markets. This is the best market to trade. Please, I'm begging you, if you want to stay profitable, you don't want to keep losing your money or losing profits that you've made, always avoid the market when the market is exhausted. Remember, we are all snipers. We always wait for the market to come to us. I remain Oko Anthony Uche, also known as Tony Sniper. Thank you for watching this video and see you guys in part 2, where we'll talk about what? Reversal and continuation. Peace.